Okay, welcome everybody. Today is, I have to look at my watch, July 16th, Monday, July 16th. Welcome to our team call. We are so excited about tonight's call because we have a special, the one and only Julie Herbst. So I'm super excited. Some of you guys are new and you've maybe never met her before. This is a really wonderful, wonderful opportunity for those of you who haven't met her before to hear from her. She is just absolutely such a phenomenal leader. She is my mentor. She is who I want to be when I grow up. She's a 100 Club National Marketing Director. She is a mom. She has just built an incredible business, but more than that, she has just the most incredible heart. She loves people. She loves her team. She loves her family. And she just is the most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful leader that we could ever ask for. So, so thank you, Julie, for getting on. Before I let you get started, I would love for anybody who has a new rep, and we can go ahead and start with you, Haley and Jose, because I know that that Jose is new and he's never been on the call before. So if you don't mind, just real quick, introducing your new rep, and then if anybody else has anything on that they can introduce, that would be awesome.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Haley. I don't know why my name shows up as Wolf, but it's actually this is Jose. So he joined a little less than a month ago, and I kept sharing Juice Plus with him because we actually work together at the physical therapy office. So he joined. And he's also been doing the shred, and he's been sticking with it. So I'm really proud of him for that. You can say hello.
Hi, guys.
Thank you so much for joining on. We're so excited that you were able to get on the call tonight. And, you know, we do these calls every Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So, you know, definitely hop on the call every week. It's a really great opportunity for you to just get some FaceTime with the rest of our team and hear other people's stories and, you know, ask questions and get some training. So awesome. Anybody else have a new rep that they want to introduce? No?
I have one who is going to be joining, but she has not jumped on yet. So I will just hold off on that. Yeah, she's coming though.
Okay. Well, we'll introduce her maybe next time. Okay. Well, then without any further ado, Julie, why don't you go ahead and get started?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Carmen. Welcome, Jose. I guess it could be a good thing that there's all women on here. Or you might think, okay, do only women do this? No, the answer is no. But we want to welcome you. That's great. And I'm so excited, you guys, that I get to spend some time tonight with you. I'd love to start with my story. 19 years ago, my sister shared Juice Plus with me. And the only person I could think about while she was talking was my husband, Joel. He was a high school principal at the time, and he gained 100 pounds in his first year in that stressful job. And I was worried about his health. So I said yes to Juice Plus just for him. I didn't think it was for me because I was a personal trainer for 23 years. I was also a school teacher at the time. But I really did think of myself as fit and healthy. I didn't think that I was unhealthy. And I had no idea how much Juice Plus would do for my health. So we got started on Juice Plus, and I was one of these people that was tired every afternoon. I was losing my hair in the shower. I was getting sick a lot with sinus infections. I also had lots of aches and pains for being in my early 30s. And I also wasn't sleeping like a rock at night. And so I started on Juice Plus and began to feel the difference between having nutritional gaps and not. And I couldn't help but share Juice Plus with everyone. And that's really why I decided to join the business, was because I was naturally sharing with everybody. And the girl that shared it with my sister called me one day and said, Julie, I want to tell you about the company. And I said, oh no. I said, is this like Tupperware? Because I'm more of like a people pleaser type of personality. And I really don't think I can do anything like that. And she said, you could pay for your product. And I said, oh, okay, how do I do that? Because that resonated with me. And that's really where I started. And you know what, you guys, that's where a lot of people start. Well, fast forward, long story short, I have a baby in that next year. And when she was about 6 months old, I wanted to stay home with her. And that's when I developed my why. And I'll mention that again in just a second. But there was a nurse coming to Florida, and this speaks to the power of events, which we're going to touch on tonight. I was strongly encouraged to hear this nurse speak. And thank goodness I went to that event that night and heard her, because she helped to pull me out of this scared of selling mindset, which I was stuck in. And she talked about Juice Plus like a gift. And when she called Juice Plus a gift, I said, it is a gift. That's what most me. And she said, well, no, there's gift. And for the first time, I understood what mission driven meant. I was stuck in, I'm too cool to sell something. And she transferred me into this mission driven mindset. And the next morning I woke up different. I was ready to go. I was teachable, willing to work, and I was ready to stay home with my daughter. And really my first goal was just to make my car payment. That was it. So I started out wanting to pay for my product. Now I was at, let me make my car payment. And I got started. Well, I was at the top of the company in 2 years. And I told my husband, we're going to get a family benefits package like medical insurance. And he didn't believe me. Well, we did get it. And he came to the conference with me really just to see me be honored. And when we got on the airplane to come home, he said, Julie, this company is great. He said, I had no idea really what you were doing, but let's go home and make me a distributor and let's do this again. And we did. And 2 years later, my husband reached national marketing director, and this business has blessed our lives in so many ways, you guys. And it can be a blessing to you, even if you do a little bit, like pay for your product. Maybe that's a blessing to you, but it can become a blessing if you want to do a lot more. There is so much potential. And you know why there's so much potential in this business? Because Juice Plus works, right? Raise your hand if Juice Plus works. We all have a story. And I get to hear these stories every day. Today I heard about 4 stories, and every single time I hear them, I am so encouraged. We are making a difference, a huge difference. So I'm excited you're here tonight. We're going to talk about DMO, which stands for Daily Method of Operation, you know, and I really want you to pretend that you paid like $1 million for this franchise. I know you only paid $50, but it's really helpful if you imagine yourself like a traditional business owner that has to put everything into it and really invest heavily. And then guess what they do? They work every day. They work every day. So if we pretend we pay $1 million, then we'll look at this a little bit differently and say, wow, let me work every day at this. Because if you work this business every day, it will pay you like a business, okay, eventually. So, and I do want to go back to my why for a moment, because that's really important. If you don't have a desire to really move forward, and I don't even care if that's to pay for your product, if that's your goal, at least you have a goal. But the stronger that desire to succeed is, the more the how-tos are going to come, and you're going to carve out time to really spend on this every day. I had a burning desire to succeed. I wanted to stay home with my daughter. And all of a sudden, as my paycheck began to grow, I felt so empowered. I was like, oh my goodness, I have the potential to make money from home. I can actually build a business and have freedom and flexibility. And this is incredible. And I started to realize that. And then I wanted to do more and more and more. And I dreamed bigger. So that's really, we really have to start with our why, because your why will match your activity. Okay. Now we do 6 things in this business. Okay. And you can look these up on missiondrivenmodel.info. You don't even have to write them down, but we try to talk to 8 people a day. Okay. 2 brand new people that we're touching base with for the first time. We're following up with 2 that we just touched base with the day before. We're doing 2 customer care calls, and then we're doing 2 team member calls, representatives that you have on your team, okay? So the 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, that's what we call it. At least 8 conversations every day if you can. Now, you might want to do more, and you might not even be able to do 2, 2, and 2. Then just do 1, 1, 1, and 1, and start there, okay? The next thing we do are events. 3-way calls are next, or 3-way Zooms. Social media, we're all going to be on social media. And then Voxer, that's what we use to communicate with each other. It's like a little walkie-talkie app. And then personal growth. Okay, those are the 6 things that you really have to get into your mind that we do every single day. Okay, and tonight I'm going to do a different spin on this DMO because I know a lot of you have probably heard me talk about this. You can watch trainings of mine that we already have available, but I'm going to tell you some different things tonight that I hope will really help you to drill down like Carmen advertised. I want you to make the most of what you do every day. You have to work smarter and not harder, okay? So let's start with those 2 new people that you're talking to every single day. You have to know what you're saying, and you have to get really good with your story, okay? So if you don't know your story yet, I want you to really work on it with your sponsor and your national marketing director. Send it to both of them, and I would recommend typing it out on email. That's what I like to do because I want to see it. I'm a visual person, and just spill everything that you're thinking out. It might be, quite a long story, but we'll help you drill it down to 90 seconds. In 90 seconds, you want to tell why you love Juice Plus so much, and then you want to talk about the business and why you decided. And I want to encourage you to have that 90-second product story ready all the time. Will you always tell the entire thing? Maybe not, but why not? Why not just sprinkle in that, oh, by the way, I decided to share this incredible gift with people too, okay? So you have to know what you're going to say when you're talking to new people, okay? So I don't want you to just go out there and start talking to new people. Sometimes you're not even telling your Juice Plus story. Sometimes you're just reconnecting with people, and there's plenty of that. I built my business when we didn't have social media. So I was picking the phone up and I was calling people I hadn't talked to in 10 years. You don't have to do that today because we have social media. You can connect with them on there first, and it's so much more natural. But can you imagine, I still built my business saying, hi, do you remember me? Julie Jones, or Julie Herbst. Well, my name was Julie Herbst at the time. So, and so today, because of social media, we have that connection is so much easier. Okay, now when you're following up with people, and you're giving information to them to take a look at Juice Plus. Maybe you're sending them a video, or you're getting ready now to follow up, and maybe they've already looked at some information about Juice Plus, but they have questions now. This is where knowing what tools you have available is really important. And we've got so many wonderful tools. Sometimes it's overwhelming how many tools we have, because you go to look for a video and you're like, which video do I use? Well, the answer is they all work, to be honest. So don't worry too much about having everything exactly right. When you're working, chaos is guaranteed to show up sometimes. So it's okay, just go with it, because chaos is a good thing sometimes. But knowing the tools is really important, because you want to have some of those at your fingertips, okay? And you want to lean on your upline when you don't know how to answer questions, or you really do want to say, maybe this is a personal trainer friend of mine, and tell us about that personal trainer, and say, which video would you send, or what would you do with this person? That's a really good thing to do on Voxer with your sponsor. So until you know the tools really well and what's available and out there, that's what Voxer's for. That's where you want to go and ask, how would Julie talk to this person? What would she say? What would she give? And that's really helpful, okay? So next, let's talk about customer care for a moment. I'll never forget hearing Wendy Campbell. That's the nurse that I heard that night. She's been an amazing teacher over these years, as well as my sponsor too. Just incredible upline support. I remember her one time saying, we are not customer care representatives. And I was kind of taken back by that. I'm like, oh, I thought we did really good customer care. We do. I misunderstood her. That's not all we do. And that was a really good lesson for me, because I was trying to do perfect customer care and trying to dot every I and cross every T. And you know what? I found that I was kind of wasting a lot of time there. I was spending way too much time there. Instead of doing good customer care and doing my best to identify how quickly could I turn people into raving fans. And let me tell you how. This is what I discovered. Get them all to a one simple change event. That's it. That's how I did it. And I had raving fan customers over and over. And I had people coming into our team faster. Because you know what we do in that event? It's not that the videos aren't good and that you shouldn't send a video as a first exposure. That's fine. But as people say yes to Juice Plus, you want to get them to watch that One Simple Change event. Why? Oh my goodness, let's think about how much they're learning in there. They're learning the why behind fruits and vegetables. People know they're good for us, but they don't know why, and they don't know how many they should eat, and we're telling them that. You can't live without Juice Plus is basically what we're saying in that presentation. And then we're telling them all about Juice Plus, and we're telling them that they juice the skin of the orange. 80% of the vitamin C is in the skin. No one's eating that, but that's in Juice Plus. And then we're talking about the research and the Children's Health Study and all of these other things that make Juice Plus so unique and wonderful. My goal is for them to hear that and say, well, I have to be on Juice Plus forever. I would cancel my cable bill before I let go of Juice Plus. That's how we get that done, you guys. So don't overlook that. And I invited people for a year or more to come to an event like that. Remember, we didn't have this. I was building my business by having people in my home. So what a beautiful thing we have today to use something like Zoom to make sure that all of our customers around the globe get to hear this awesome presentation, okay? So that's number one, is I want you to get good at the One Simple Change event. Duplicate that on your team and make sure everybody gets to it. And then the experience survey. This is the other thing I love. And if you're not using the experience survey, we can talk. I'll do some Q&A at the end. You want to use that survey because that survey shows the most commonly, the most common results or experiences that people are having after starting on Juice Plus. And I love sharing this about 10 days in. When my customer has started taking their Juice Plus, I want to get them re-excited about taking it consistently. And so I will send the experience survey, okay? So these are my two big things that I want to encourage you so that you do impeccable customer care, because our goal is not to be perfect customer care representatives. Our goal is to turn people into raving fans so they take Juice Plus forever, or they join us and want to share it with everybody. So those two things. Okay, now let's talk about our team. You're going to have all kinds of people come into this business. Probably the people that you don't think will join you will, and the ones that you don't think will. But anyway, you know what I mean. Okay, so as you're working with team members, I want to give you some success ingredients. This is what actually makes up a successful team member. And I also want to preface this with, we don't have expectations of people. Okay, that's one of the best ways to fail in this business, is to have expectations of people or try to convince them of something. Okay, we are there, and you have to have a big full memory jogger because you're going to talk to a lot of people so that you don't have expectations of people. If you have a short list of people you're talking to, then desperation kicks in. Okay, so you have to talk to a lot of people. And this is really a key. As team members come in, they're going to have 4 success ingredients if they're successful, okay? Number 1 is they're gonna have a strong why. If it's a burning desire to succeed, they're probably gonna become a national marketing director, because people with the strongest whys become national marketing directors, because the how-tos come, okay? The second success ingredient, so the first one is a strong reason why they're building this business. Number 2, they're teachable, okay? They don't try to reinvent the wheel again, and if you share something with them and they do the opposite, that's not being teachable, okay? And sometimes that's just because they haven't gotten to a coachable point yet, okay? The third one is willing to work, okay? So a strong why, teachable, willing to work, and really work at this like a business, like I was saying when we started. And then the last one is that they have a heart. You know, they care more about people than they do themselves. They care more about this mission than they do themselves. And that's huge, because those servant-hearted people become servant-hearted leaders, and they bless everybody around them. They contribute not only to their team, they contribute to the greater team. And we have a company like that. When people come to our Juice Plus conference, they're blown away by the kind of people that are in this business. And that's because we look for people who have that kind of heart. So I love those 4 success ingredients. And everybody starts out high maintenance, low impact. Okay, we all do. But that shift is supposed to be occurring at some point, okay? What makes this shift occur? Well, teachable people, people who are trying things for the first time. They're not scared. They're getting used to it. Practice, practice, practice. They're following up over and over and over. And all of a sudden, that follow-up isn't paralyzing them anymore because they're scared. They're doing it and they're getting results, okay? So we've got to hang in there. And let me say also that these success ingredients are there not because they're the measuring tape and we say, oh, well, you don't have the success ingredients, so we're actually not going to work with you. No, we never do that. Everybody is a blessing, whether they do a little bit or a lot. But to be a smart business owner, you have to recognize the difference. And you have to be okay with the people who just want to do a little bit because they're a blessing too. And that's great. I was there one time. I just wanted to do a little. And then you have to recognize the ones who want to do a lot, okay? And how do we get people to have those success ingredients? Vision. How do we cast vision in this business? We put people in front of other people, okay? So let's talk about this. When you share a video with somebody, you're putting them in front of somebody else. That's third-party validation. When you do a three-way call with a national marketing director, you're putting people in front of a national marketing director. That's third-party validation. When you bring people to an event, that's it. I mean, that's how most distributors become distributors with serious goals. It's because they go to an event. I'm looking at Haley right now. I see you. So Haley came to our boot camp a few weeks ago. Can you give me a thumbs up as to whether you got vision at that? I know. I got vision at it. And I've been doing this for 19 years. I came away on fire. And I'm like, this never gets old. I mean, you're going to get vision at every event that you go to. But you have to take people with you. You know, those of you on the line, some of you are in Florida. Our conference is in Tampa, Florida this year. I told our local team they should have to change the venue because we bring so many people. Don't you dare go by yourself. If you go by yourself, you'll be kicking yourself the entire time. You'll be like, oh, I should have had like 25 people here. You just have to invite everybody. Those are the people that really excel in this business. And it's the people who become national marketing directors and then they go up to 39 club and 100. That's because they get people to events, okay? So I hope that those things help you too. All right, let's talk about events for a moment because this is really important. 2 a month in person. That's what I want to recommend to you. That's what I did. I did 2 every single month in person. I would do, you know, whatever you like, wine and wellness, salad in a jar, they all work. It doesn't really matter. And then I want to encourage you to use Zoom as much as you can. This is what a lot of people who are moving very fast in our business today is they're doing events on Zoom. And Zoom is free. If you're brand new, you can get your own Zoom account like this for free. You can have 100 people on it. You're not going to have more than 100. I hope you do. But you're probably not going to have more than 100 on your Zoom. If you do, then you need to upgrade and start paying a fee for it. But the free account, you get to have up to 100 people, and you get to have a 40-minute time limit. And I like that actually, because you shouldn't go over 40 minutes when you're brand new. Your events should be very concise and powerful, okay? So 2 in-person events, and then use Zoom. And then you have to get people to the bigger events, and that's what I was just talking about. So these are the things that we call regionals or boot camps, or we're actually going to have a Zoom regional called the Pajama Regional in a couple of weeks. That's a big event to me. Get people in the room for that kind of thing. And then, of course, our conference, that's huge. All right, let's talk about 3-way calls for a moment. Okay, these are huge too. So great way to work smarter and not so hard is to put people in front of your national marketing director, okay? And this is a solid national marketing director that you have. You want people to get in front of her, and you want her to be able to cast vision for them. That's what national marketing directors do. That's why on a 3-way call, my story is about 7 minutes long. That's not my 90-second story. No, it's 7 minutes long because I'm casting vision to your person. I want them to hear my story about how I thought I was too cool or I was scared to death to do this. And then all of a sudden I got the picture, and then I wanted to make $500 a month, and then I got to the top of the company. That's casting vision for people. So that's what we do. So who are you bringing to a national marketing director? You're bringing those raving fan customers who have read the experience survey, and they're like, oh my goodness, my nails are growing, my hair's stronger, and I'm not getting sick as much because of Juice Plus. That's what the experience survey helps them understand. They see all these results and they go, oh my goodness, I have 10 of these already. Not after 10 days, but usually I keep sharing that survey throughout their journey in their first 4 months. But these raving fan customers are the people that you're inviting to talk. And this is what that sounds like. I'd like for you to meet my friend Carmen. She's been sharing Juice Plus for, oh my goodness, Carmen, it's like 14 years or something like that. I would love for you to hear her story. And I know that if they have something in common with Carmen, you could, say something, a commonality. She's a mom like you. She's into fitness like you are, whatever it is. And then say, I know she's going to really love meeting you too. Do you have 10 to 15 minutes one day? And as national marketing directors, we're going to do our best to keep the call short. The only reason it's going to go longer, and sometimes they do go longer, is because the person makes it go longer because they're sharing and asking questions and things. But most of my calls are 10 to 20 minutes, someplace in there. Okay, who else are you bringing besides a raving fan customer? You're bringing a dream team person, somebody that you're probably scared to talk to them because they have more skills than you, they're more outgoing than you. You're kind of scared of them. Go after those people. Those are the people you want to work with on your team, okay? Don't go to the people that you're completely not scared. Go to them too, but you know what I'm saying. This is a concept called sponsoring up, and that kind of sounds mean, but it's not. I want to look for people who are better than me. I want to look for people who are stronger than me, that will go faster than me, okay? Go to those people and don't be afraid. And say, Wendy Campbell calls it, I choose you. She says, you know what? I choose you. She said, sometimes that's really powerful for people to hear. So don't be afraid to say, you know what? I would love to tell you about something that I'm doing that I started recently. And I don't know if this would be a good fit for you, but what if it could be? Do you have a few minutes one day to talk about it? Just wear your heart on your sleeve and be real, okay? Who else are you inviting? People who have a cost issue with Juice Plus. I had a cost issue with Juice Plus. That's why I didn't buy it for myself at first, to be honest. I only bought it for my husband because I thought it was expensive. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank goodness that somebody didn't let that keep me from ever taking it. Okay. So people who have a cost issue with Juice Plus, invite them to hear Carmen's story, okay? And then you're also using three-way calls for brand new team members so that they can meet the national marketing director and welcome, and you're using three-way calls for coaching too. When somebody gets to VF, the next step is we got to get them on the phone with the national marketing director again. They've already met them, but let's do another call. And you know what we're going to tell them now? We're going to cast vision again. We're going to show them, okay, what's your next step? Let's talk about the money. Let's start to teach you some things, and we're going to broaden vision. That's what coaching calls do, okay? All right, so let me see. Voxer, under 2 minutes. Keep your Voxers under 2 minutes. Sometimes I don't do very well with that, but I'm trying. Sometimes if they go longer than 2 minutes, it's because there's an important training to hear, okay? So like this call is going to go over, okay? And people have very little time on Voxer. Let's keep the messages super short because that's really, really important. And then social media, use it effectively. But I want to encourage you guys with one thing that I've learned in the last few years of using social media. There is nothing as powerful as getting on the phone with people. There's nothing as powerful as getting in front of people face to face. So don't neglect that. And if you're struggling with messaging, start picking the phone up and try it. Start, that heart to heart, that voice to voice, it really does work too. And as we finish, the very last thing on the DMO is personal growth, okay? Leaders are readers. Leaders are readers. And today, who has time really to sit down and read a book? Carmen does. Just kidding. Carmen is a voracious reader. She's like my daughter. I love it. And yes, you can take time to read. I go to the beach, I read, I'm just kidding. But there's Audible today. I also go running, and I have a little fanny pack that I run with. I turn the book on and I listen on tape. It is so fantastic. And I just want to close with something from a book that I really love called Think and Grow Rich, because that's a good thing to end with. And when you hear the word rich, sometimes people go, oh yeah, but we care about people. It's not about riches. Yes, it is. It's about riches. It's okay to be rich. The love of money is evil, but money is not evil. Money allows you to do incredible things for people, including you and your family, and then all kinds of other people. So I'm not afraid of being rich. I hope you're not. Anyway, Think and Grow Rich, awesome book. And at the very end in the book, it says, you must have a purpose, the knowledge of what you want, so there's your why, and a burning desire to possess it. And he's talking about money. Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, President Lincoln, the Wright brothers, Marconi did this. I don't know if you know who Marconi is, but I know because I used to work in television. And Marconi is the reason probably why we have the internet today. That's the man who first discovered radio waves and things like that. And isn't it interesting that Marconi's friends took him into custody, had him examined in a psychopathic hospital when he announced that he had discovered to send messages through the air. Isn't that interesting? And the reason I want to share that with you is because you'll get really excited about this. You'll have your why, you'll have things organized, you're going to do your DMO activity, and guess what? All kinds of things are going to try to get in the way. All these little urgent things are going to be popping up, and people are going to try to take the wind out of your sails. And I want to tell you guys, don't let them. Don't let them do that. You are in charge of the future for you. And the future doesn't have to be what it used to be. It can actually look completely different, completely different. So I hope that encourages you to do some personal growth too. So get busy doing these things. And I hope that really helped you tonight as I gave you a little bit of a different spin on all the different activities we do, which are so, so important. Those are going to be what get you to your goals and your dreams. Thank you, Carmen.
Oh, thank you so much, Julie. That was amazing. And, I'll never forget what you told me early on in my Juice Plus business. And you said that, if you'll do what others won't for the next 3 to 5 years, you can do what others can't for the rest of your life. And that has absolutely proved true. I mean, as I literally have a vacation I'm living my life on vacation this summer. It's just absolutely amazing. And, everything that you shared is how we do this. It's not rocket science. It's following the system. It's being disciplined. It's doing the work, sharing with people, letting people know how much you care about them, and then following up with them, right? I mean, it's everything that you shared, Julie, and you've been such an incredible example to me. And I so appreciate you and love you for the example that you've set. And we just so appreciate you taking the time to be on the call. Does anybody have a question for Julie?
Good. Oh, that's a good sign.
Yeah, you look so cool, right?
I covered enough. Either that or I went way over. What time is it?
No, you were great. Well, I'm going to unmute you guys, and you're all unmuted, so you can give a big thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you. So good to see you all. Take care.
Thank you, Julie.